All right, hi, this is Cam Inman of the Bay Area News Group here at 49ers training camp. Today is Thursday, and the 49ers went through yet another training camp practice with pads on today. And these are my big three takeaways from today's session, which saw about 4 or 5 veterans get the Veterans Rest Day, including Navarro Bowman, Joe Staley, Pierre Garcon, and Jeremy Zuda, their center. So let's start off. Number one is the news of the day is that wide receiver Bruce Ellington's tenure with the 49ers is done. He was a 5th-round draft pick about 3-4 years ago. Played his first 2 seasons, spent last year on injured reserve with a hamstring strain, and he just couldn't climb the depth chart at a slot receiver position that has become pretty crowded with Jeremy Curley, rookie Trent Taylor, and also Ellington has battled so many injuries. It's almost like a preemptive strike, knowing he might get hurt again. And the team's statement is that they want him to get a chance to catch on somewhere else, and that they're pretty well stocked at that slot position. They like what they see out of Curley and Taylor. Obviously, Taylor had one of the best catches of camp yesterday. Let's get to number 2, and that is the hard hits that have been coming on at practice of late. Obviously, yesterday, Carlos Hyde had a pretty good one on rookie cornerback Akella Witherspoon at the goal line, and today, Witherspoon again got victimized at the goal line, this time by tight end Vance McDonald on a 10-yard touchdown catch as he rambled through the secondary and hit Witherspoon at the goal line. But so the question was to Kyle Shanahan after today's practice if he doesn't mind players hitting each other so hard at this point in training camp. There hasn't been much contact allowed in past time. Obviously, in spring workouts, you're not allowed to hit. They only got pads on Sunday, and so the guys today, they seem to be taking it up a notch.
We're going to be physical. You got to practice being physical, otherwise you're going to get in the game, and you're trying to force yourself to do something that's not a habit. And for a lot of people, that could come naturally, but the 99th time out of 100 that you have to do that, and you're relying on reflex, you have to know how to be physical, and then starts practicing.
Carlos Hyde, who delivered the hit yesterday, he took one early in practice as he reached the secondary, and Lorenzo Jerome hit him pretty good back in the secondary of the defense. So a lot of hitting was going on. Kyle Shanahan endorses it.
Yesterday, I thought Carlos taught a little bit of a lesson that I think will end up helping him in the long run. It's very tough for anybody when a guy gets, especially a guy like Carlos. There's about 15 yards between him and Carlos, and the guy's getting a running start, and you're sitting there waiting on him. That's going to happen, especially if you're not allowed to go at his legs. So what I like is that Carlos kind of taught him that, so next time he doesn't sit there and take out his legs, he better recognize the cutback a lot faster. When the outside receiver cracks on the safety, you better replace that guy a lot faster. So now Carlos has about a 3-yard head start instead of a 15-yard head start. I don't care who you are. If Carlos gets a 15-yard head start on you and lowers his head and you're not allowed to go low on him, that would be the end result. So it's about recognizing a crack and crack replacing, getting right in the grip of that receiver and getting on Carlos before he gets that steam going.
And let's get to the number 3 thing that we learned today. And this is a little quirky, but this is something I wanted to talk about was, Kyle Shanahan's known for having a lot of verbiage in his play calls. And he'll give them the formations, really specific in the play call. But the quarterbacks don't wear wristbands like they do on some teams. So we asked him about that and why he doesn't want them to. And his explanation was really as simple as he wants the play to get in quicker. So he will radio it into the quarterback. The quarterback will relay word for word what Shanahan is telling him, so they can get out of the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage and go quick, quick, quick. Now, last year was a whole different situation with Chip Kelly, where players would be signaled in from the sideline, a very college-like thing that was going on. Players were a little reluctant to do it. Offense didn't perform as well. But Shanahan's system is so intricate and the verbiage is so long that you would wonder if the guys will have wristbands. They don't. Hoyer was in the situation, or in the scheme, in 2014 with the Browns. He didn't get a wristband, but he noted that Johnny Manziel, a rookie at the time, was allowed to wear a wristband when he came in later in the season. So Hoyer doesn't need one now. He knows pretty much. He's fluent in Shanahan talk for the most part, and that's translating well on the field where the offense seems to be improving day by day. So injury notes that you need to know about: DeForest Buckner, second-year defensive tackle. He sprained his ankle yesterday. He was walking around on it today. It's a day-to-day thing. He did not practice today. Eric Reed did return from an ankle injury. He told me he feels pretty darn good, and he was one of the ones delivering hits today too. So that's it here from 49ers training camp. This is Cam Inman. Follow me on Twitter at Cam Inman. Read our coverage at mercurynews.com, eastbaytimes.com. And again, thanks for listening.